Hi guys, alright, so excuse the hair, it's just a little, I didn't really, I could care less, so if you care, I'm sorry that you do. Today will be my first day back to work. I don't go to work, for about another, uh, 2 hours, so I wanted to, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I just finished lunch, so I figured I would try to make this video for you guys, and yes, I'm making this for I'm making tomorrow's vlog today because tomorrow's going to be nutty. I have a doctor's appointment and they already called me and told me to plan on being there for a good 3 hours. Not because the doctor's running behind, but because they want to check to make sure that going back to work didn't do anything. So, they're going to try to do a non-stress test on me, but like they said, being so small, which, oh my gosh, my picture yesterday, I feel huge, but I took the pictures, which I think is funny, because originally I was taking them at night, and then I started doing it in the morning, and then last night I took it at night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am huge, and this morning I got up and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, so now on to the childhood memory. When I wouldn't say like the spring is my favorite time of year. I enjoy the spring. Part of that has to do with the fact that my favorite, I don't even know, was it flowering plant, because my favorite flowers are pink roses and daisies. They've always been my favorite, especially daisies. I would prefer to get a bouquet of daisies than roses. And my husband every year for our anniversary gets me a bouquet of all daisies and one pink rose. So anyway, so my other favorite flower that you can't really buy in a store is lilac. I love the smell. I love the smell of it. And a lot of that has to do with my grandfather. And yes, I did say my grandfather. When we would go see my grandfather, he didn't really... My grandfather was green before green was this really huge, popular thing to be doing. He would, your milk jugs, he said it doesn't make sense to throw them out whole or squishing them down. He would cut them and things like that. And for a funnel, actually, he used to, instead of going out and buying a funnel, he would cut off the top of the milk jug and use that as a funnel, and then cut the other into small bits, because like you said, that way animals didn't get, go inside and get stuck. And the soda rings, he showed my brother and I at a young age how to cut them. And then he used to take a tin outside, an old, I think it was a coffee, and then melt it down himself, and then pour it, and so that way it was a block. So that way then the animals couldn't eat them and choke it. He was very, very green. And this was really before a lot of people were going green. So he did not believe in putting up a wooden fence or a metal fence, or God forbid a plastic fence, because that doesn't break down. So he believed in natural fences, like using plants, mostly plants, because like he said, then it's pretty. So they lived in a duplex. My grandfather owned the whole duplex, but he lived on one side, and the other side was empty, which then, when I was in high school, that's where we lived. But on the side that he wasn't in, there he had put up, to block from their neighbors, he put up a whole huge thing of lilac. It was pretty long. It probably, I think it had maybe 20 lilacs. But then, like, in the spring, when you would go, like, I remember where we would park would be right next to it. And if the windows weren't open, because it's still a little chilly here in New England in the spring when you're driving, so you still have your windows, but you don't have the heat on or anything like that. But then when we get there and you open the doors, that's all you could smell, and it was beautiful. So, you know, we would go, my brother and I, of course, would go inside, and then my grandfather would always say, okay, well, Paul and Jan, you know, let's go outside. You know, we were always outside with him. And, you know, my mom would stay inside with, you know, my grandmother, and they would talk and everything. Because my grandmother had a stroke. No, she didn't have a stroke. She had a hip replacement. No. I'm not exactly sure. It was either a stroke, or it was her hip, or it was a heart attack. It was one of those three things right before I was born. Actually, she was in the same hospital that I was born. So actually, I am the only baby that my grandmother got to see only hours after I was born. All the others, it was, you know, a couple days. And my brother, she had been sick, and with my brother, she wasn't allowed in, and my grandfather was the only one that actually went in to see my brother. He scrubbed down and everything. You know, my grandfather was one. He walked into the doctor and said, I would like to see my grandson just in case if something happens. What do you want me to do? Do you need me to scrub down? I'll change into scrubs. You know, I'll scrub head to toe. And they said, you know, just they had him scrub up, put the Johnny over, and he got to see my brother. Nobody could touch my brother, but they could, you know, he could at least see my brother. So, anyways, we would go outside and we would cut lilac, you know, for my mom and for my grandmother, and that was always something so special to me that even now, like, it's weird. You know, every so often I swear I can smell lilac. Granted, it could be because I have, there's always a lilac candle in my house. It's right now in the bedroom. But there's always a lilac candle, and it always reminds me of him. So when we bought the house, I asked well, of course when we bought the house, we bought it in the summer, which, as many of you guys know, lilac are not in bloom anymore, and their leaves are similar to a couple other plants and that, well, trees, plants, shrubbery. So we had it in the backyard, and I'm like, I don't know, that could be lilac, it could be, you know, a couple other things. Didn't think much of it. So then that spring, it is a beautiful fuchsia. It's gorgeous. I don't think I have a picture of it. I'll have to check through my pictures, and if I do, I will insert it here. But I then, you know, because I didn't think I had any lilac, I told my husband, I said, you know what, I really want a lilac bush. I need a lilac bush. So we ended up, he got me a pink one, which is on the corner of our porch. So that way, once it gets a little bit bigger, I can open these windows because I'm in our sitting room / playroom, and you're going to be able to smell it. Granted, the pink one isn't as fragrant as the purple, but the purple ones that are actually, they are from my grandfather. They're actually, as my mom said, they are actually, when you want to look at it, they're my equivalent. They are, because my grandfather's had seedlings, the little sprouts that came up, so my dad took them and they planted them, and when we moved they've moved from one town, two with my grandparents, to up where we are now. And so they had seedlings. So these ones are my equivalent to my grandfather's. So I have those. And then the next year we bought, it's the pink one, I don't remember the name, but the one that's in our front yard, it's Beauty of Moscow. It is a hybrid. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a white flower. And the inside of it, the little like X, is pink. It's gorgeous. I know I do not have a picture of it. I'm going to try to this year get a picture of them because they're absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And then to make up for the 2 years that we weren't, not 2 years, 1 year that I didn't have, somebody caught me making a video.
I found you.
You found me? I wasn't really hiding. You're watching Octonauts.
I sure did not.
Oh, okay. Mommy's almost done. So then, last year I got is another pink one because it wasn't as pink as what it. Okay, well be careful. Be careful for the baby too. So then my husband decided, I think it is a white one. No, it's a light purple. He wanted to make up for the Mother's Day that we missed, that we didn't have a house. So I have been, this year will be my 5th year of being a mommy. So that I will have 5 lilac bushes, and this year I want a yellow one. But some of you guys would go, that's an odd Mother's Day present, but it's not. To me, it's the most beautiful Mother's Day present. I get it early. Actually, we should be going in another couple of weeks to be going to get that, because that's my Mommy's Day gift, and I love it. I'm sorry if you can see her hair. I just haven't brushed it yet. I haven't brushed it. So yeah, that's about it. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
I say bye.
Okay, go ahead and say bye.